It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah Lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Terumah. The question of the week is, how can we merit great miracles and blessings? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha Terumah, we learn about the building of the tabernacle. That was the moving Bet HaMikdash. And the Torah tells us about the walls that were made for the tabernacle. There were 20 planks on the north side, 20 planks on the south side. There were 6 planks on the west side. And these planks were put together with sockets on top. After all the planks were put together, you had a solid 3 walls. So the Torah tells us that they would place 5 bars of acacia wood on each of the 3 sides. How do you get 5? So on the top there were 2 short ones, on the bottom 2 short ones, on all 3 sides. And then there was one that went the whole north, south, and west side. Now think about this. You have a bar that's made of acacia wood. Acacia wood is pretty strong. And you have to stick it in through 20 sockets. It has to make a turn, and then make another turn, come all the way back around. How did that work? How is it possible for a solid bar of acacia wood to go all the way through, make a turn, and then make another turn and come all the way back around? So the Talmud says that B'nes HaYa'imid, it was a miracle. What does that mean? So the Talmud explains, and Rashi explains in the Talmud, in Tractate Shabbat, that the priest, he would go ahead and noisnoi. He used the word noisnoi. He would place it in. And the Talmud says, Ein uman, no craftsman can go ahead and do this. So the Rebbe says, obviously it was a miracle. So if it was a miracle, why did a human have to put it in? And why does it have to tell us no craftsman can do it? If it's a miracle, we know that no human being can do it. And if it was a miracle, why does someone have to put it in? It should have happened miraculously. So the Rebbe explains, the Torah is trying to teach us a powerful insight. That if you want a miracle in your life, there's 2 ingredients. One is noisnoi. You have to be willing to put it in. What does that mean, you're willing to put it in? You have to be willing to put the effort in. And B, you have to realize that no craftsman, that means no intellect, no strategy is going to make it work. When you're willing to give yourself over to a project, and when you're willing to accept that it's not going to be done by a craftsman, by any strategy, by any intellectual capability, but it's going to happen because God wants it to happen, then it will be successful. So in other words, how can you have miracles and blessings in your life? Take the approach of the priest that had to do an impossible task. Give yourself over to the project, dedicate yourself to the project, and accept the fact that it's not going to be done based on your talent, your crafty ideas, but it's going to be happening because God wants it to happen. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to the memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. Please join us for live classes here at Chabad. Thursday from 12:30 to 2 we have a Parsha class. Shabbat morning from 9 to 10 we have a Kabbalah class based on the teachings of the Rebbe, followed by services and a Kiddush and a Farbrengen. Shavua Tov and have a great week.